At the beginning of my stream, I'm recording a public portion of what I'm going to go into more detail for the private community. Below the video, next to the subscribe button, there's a join button. If you like what you see, but then you feel, hey, I need to know what he's thinking even further beyond the free YouTube content, it's like it's $36 a year to be on these live streams. I think it's a pretty fair price. If you've ever lost $36 from a bad trade and then you went to my channel and said, oh no, if I would have seen this, I wouldn't have done that. Well, that's $36 a year. I bet it could be at least worth that value, and I'm going to work hard to make sure that is. So for free YouTube, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you the tools that I'm using and my general idea, but I'm not going to show you how I'm using the tools. You will know that I have a saw and a hammer and a box of nails, but I'm not going to show you what I'm going to do with them. Am I going to MacGyver this stuff? Which that's an 80s, 90s show. That probably doesn't make sense to anybody. It was a guy who could make, he could pick a lock with a straw and a toothpick or something. Like he just took random things and made he got himself out of sticky situations. It was a show. Anyway, I'm not going to show you how I'm going to use the tools, but I'm going to provide you the tools so that you can copy them on your chart and simply apply support and resistance to them. And as you can see, for any new viewers, I mean, my charts are cleaner and sexier than anybody else that you're going to see on YouTube. I am confident with that statement. So no further ado, let's dive in. And for new viewers, if you like what you see here in the first few minutes, go ahead and hit like, subscribe, but hit all alerts. The bell is perhaps the most important thing, even more than subscribing, because I want you to be able to get the information delivered to you in a timely manner, because crypto moves fast. So subscribe, hit that bell, and hit all alerts if you like what you see as we move along here. So let's get going into some Bitcoin here. I would strongly recommend that you attempt to replicate what you see on my screen. Now you could probably make not make it 10 cents and 36 cents. I could have made these a little bit rounder numbers here. For example, like 28.10. If you want to make this horizontal right at, that did not work. Extra 0.10, dirt to dirt, there we go. And take off the pennies. So if you make a rectangle, it doesn't have to be the same color, but you have the exact coordinates. This is a rotated rectangle that has full opacity. See that? You double click, you can make it darker, whatever, okay? And then within there, it's another rotated rectangle. Same thing, you can just copy it and make it exactly parallel, but it's opacity all the way down. So these are the tools that I'm using to make such a sexy chart. And then here in the middle, it's another rotated rectangle called the point of control. It's the middle. It's the middle of the range. And I have the opacity all the way up on there, just a different color so it pops out, all right? And then when you do that kind of stuff, oftentimes you have to hover over price, right click, visual order, bring to front, so that price does not hide behind that because you can't see it. Particularly the high opacity, the base one. So these are the tools that I'm using, and you can see rejection, but a lot of higher high, but it was a rejection the whole time. So just because this got rejected here, so you just general ideas of I'm not really showing you how to use the tools, I'm explaining the tools a little bit more. But one thing to consider if you decide to replicate this, which I strongly recommend, particularly new viewers, to do, because once you zoom into this and you see my lines are just like hitting just more beautifully than what you have on your chart most likely, and you just see how pretty and nice it is. If you can do this, and then you zoom in, throughout the weeks, and just see how price just interacts with this stuff perfectly. Like your mind might be blown, new viewers. So take the time, rewind if you need to, and try to replicate that. All right, so I'm gonna go back a little bit to what I was getting ready to say is, so we have a couple of things to think about. Yes, we're at the top of the channel and a macro horizontal. I'll show you what this horizontal is here in a minute. It's the first true obstacle of Bitcoin for the people who think we're going into a bull market. But we're at the bottom. We're at the top. Actually, we're at the top of the obstacle. So we'll go into what this line is here. This is self-explanatory. It's a trading channel going back to last year, December of 2022. Okay, this is December. Just because the trend is you get rejected from this line, let's short, right? Like right here, let's short. Well, okay, maybe, but it spent 12 days, higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high. So, and if you are trying to take on positions, the correct position is a short there for, let's say if you're trading the 4 hour or greater. If you're trading the 5 minute and stuff, well, then you can long and short probably 30 times within there over 12 days, most likely with higher leverage. But depending on how you trade, if you're not zoomed in on the micro timeframes and you're not in and out of trades, within 1 day, which is the vast majority of people who are not doing that. If you're trying to take on a short at the top of this, just realize it can hang out for an extended period and poke out higher high after higher high after higher high. Local highs. And then go down after you're so frustrated. And so here's what can happen to you. Here's worst case. I want you to everything I'm saying is applying now, because look, it's doing the same damn thing possibly as it did back here. So thing to keep in mind is if you're trying to play the market right now in crypto, obviously, yeah, we could get rejected, but even there, you could start shorting, get stopped out, frustrated. Okay, man, darn it, try it again. Okay, great, I'm in profit. Bounce right on that line, right? See, where did it bounce? On that line. Where did it get rejected? On that line. Like, it's literally that simple. So perhaps waiting until price goes under that line might be a better idea. And look, where is Bitcoin right now? It's pretty close to that line. So really, I would not be interested in shorts at all. I would actually prefer to zoom into this and look for a higher low, and then to get some momentum, I would long. And I would not short chasing these candles. I would wait till it gets rejected because of what I'm showing you. Like, it could just do a higher high after higher high after higher high. And here's the thing to watch out for though. If you are a new viewer, my returning viewers probably know this, but new viewers, is that what happens in your brain if you're trying to do this is, I'm short. Yes, I'm in profit. Yeah, not much profit. I'm about break even. Yes, I'm in profit. Oh no, right? Oh no, I got stopped out. Or, ooh, I'm in a losing position. Let's add to it. Let's add more money, right? Horrible idea. But you add more money, right? And then, oh yes, I'm in profit again. Oh no, I'm at break even or whatever. Oh no, I'm at a loss again. And then you say, okay, I can't take it anymore. I've been doing this. I've been trying to short. I want to be a millionaire tomorrow. I've been trying to short for 9 days. You know how many times you could get stopped out and beaten down? How many fees you would pay in that situation trying to short that? But here's where it gets worse though. Avoid this, what I'm about to say, at all costs. And this has happened to me so many times. Just don't let this happen to you. Is you have an idea that's right. In the end, yeah, it was a very tradable event going down. I was right to want to short around that area, right? But I just didn't do it the right way because I didn't wait till that rejection. Wait for that. But the thing to avoid is if you know you want to be short, which I kind of do too. I want to be, but I'm not yet. I don't have this happening. If you want to be short and you're trying to do it, what could happen to you for now and anytime in the future is you are short and it just goes sideways and pokes its head, really doesn't do anything crazy high, but because it keeps doing this, then you flip bullish and that's when it goes down. It happened to me around Wyckoff in 2021, May. No, not May. Shit, I can't. Yeah, around, I think it was May 20th is when it all dropped from like 55K down to 29 in the matter of days. 3 days before that drop, I flipped bullish because I knew I was like the first person to be bearish. New viewers. When I was a brand new YouTuber, didn't even know how to use a microphone, right? I didn't know that I had to speak in. One of my viewers left a comment and educated me on that. I had no idea. And so my videos, like, it cut in and out. And, I just have my microphone right in front of me right now. I was singing inside, so I had my microphone stand somewhere else. But if you go back to mid-March of 2021 on my videos, there was nasty bearish divergence. I was bearish before anybody. Like literally anybody I follow and pay attention to compare their thoughts to mine to make sure, am I being crazy or am I way off the markets? As I deliver content, I want to know what other people are thinking too. But so I could tell, do I think I'm wrong or do I think they're wrong, or can we both equal chances being right? Actually, here we go. I might be losing my train of thought, but anyway, I'm getting off topic. I apologize. What you need to avoid is flipping the wrong way, like I did back in May. And then I got bullish about right here. 3 days later, it dropped. And it's the same thing. And I really screwed up my portfolio doing that. Real badly. But that's on a macro scale. I'm talking weekly scale. I'm on the 1 hour chart. So yes, a 1 hour mistake can still be painful. But I want to let you know what I am saying. Hey, be careful. You can be right, but you might get so worn out from it just not happening, even though eventually you will be it'll be a tradable event down. The next tradable event was you were right, but you'll get so worn out that you flip the other way, and that's when it goes down. That happens on short-term time frames, and it happens on the long time frames too, right? Like it really does. So what I'm saying doesn't just apply to small charts. It applies to weekly candles as well. And if you want me to show you real quickly what I missed, it was trend. It was just trend. Just me being stupid. And what I'm about to say also applies for now and forever. Daily. $69K top. 64K top. This is what I missed. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Higher high, lower low. Took that out. You're automatically on lower high watch, or actually warning. And it almost always happens at a 45-degree angle. Every time. So don't be bullish until you get over the average slope of the general move. So if you were to zoom in on here on like 1 hour candles, these wicks have a specific slope. And if you extend that, it does this perfectly. The same angle. So if you take out this low, and if you're trying to be bullish here, do not be bullish until you get over the 45-degree angle from that top. And if you want to see the perfect example of me getting it right, it's in my normal videos. If you want to go back to this, even this video down in the description, it says the 12 times that I tried to warn, whatever, I begged you to listen or something. If you want to see me do it 100% correctly on Solana, it's a 90-second clip. It's among the 12 down in the description. It's the Solana one, and I use the exact same tool, and I see the future like months in advance, and I nail it. And then it did hit $12, and it did hit 150 from 90. Like I said that months at a time, and it's exactly what happened. So that's what I missed though. So when you get it right, you can have a great play. But if you ignore it, you can ruin your portfolio. Like you could cut your portfolio like by, I don't know, you could literally cut it in half, especially if that type of event happens. All right, so now let's go back to current price. I'm on the 1 hour chart. I think I want to remain on the 1 hour chart. Here's the last thing I'm going to show you for free YouTube, just a general thought process. So far we have two thoughts. A, we're at a potential rejection point, double resistance. Double resistance. Being short might not be a bad idea, right? Depending on the time frame. On the weekly, I would not be short. or even the daily really. But 1 hour, 5 minute, all that stuff, yeah, might be good to be short. But if you're short, it could take 8 more days or something. It could stay up here for a while. First thought. Second thought is, if you're not in any position now, well, you would want to wait. If that happens to short, that you would have to wait till the same thing happens. This line right here, the same line gets used as resistance. That's thought number 2. The last thought that I will leave you, the last thought I will leave you with is this. Let's think of a place where, hey, when do we become bullish again, right? Like, because this is a nasty red day candle. So let's go to the daily. This is not bearish engulfing yet, which means bearish engulfing means a red candle that's larger than the previous green candle or green candles. And this is a massive potential bearish engulfing, but it's not yet. It has not closed. It hasn't closed. So I'm not going to explain what I'm doing with this line for the free stuff. This is actually where the money might be made. So if you want to know what I'm going to talk about after I stop the recording and just do a live stream for my members, this is the key. This is the line in the sand. I'm not going to do that for free YouTube. But in general terms, a lot of people like to get really bearish right away because of bearish engulfing. I want to leave you with 2 thoughts to keep you safe with that correct assumption. It is a good assumption that if you get a nasty bearish engulfing candle, being generally short is probably better for that time frame, particularly on the next backfill. 2 thoughts. First, backfill. Let's say this does close red and it's confirmed bearish engulfing because it engulfs all of this. It swallows it, right? It's larger. Like the length of this fits inside of here. That it engulfs it. It hugs it, right? It's a bear hug. Oop. It hasn't closed yet. So any signals, MACD, EMA's crossing down, RSI bumping its head on its EMA and going down. That juncture of going down, this juncture where it swings, it hasn't closed yet. So any signal, MACD going down, EMA's crossing, that juncture can still swing. So if this candle right here flips green, that same signal that you just saw an hour ago or whatever telling you to be short, it's now telling you to be long, all because you didn't wait on that candle to close. So and then when the candle closes, that it gets stuck here, and then the next juncture happens here, like connecting, Lincoln logs or something. After the candle closes, then it's stuck down. The next juncture's here, and then the next one can wiggle, right? But it would probably be down as well, but not until that closes. Does that make sense? So if you are a person who is, you're watching other channels, oh, we're short, like the stochastics and RSI are going down on the daily. Not so fast. Not yet. Not yet. Tricky stuff happens on Mondays from the weekend. Futures traded down. This could pop right back up. Right? So what I'm getting ready to do for the members only is I'm going to go talk about this line right here. And then I'm going to talk about if I choose to be bullish, here's my line in the sand, which I might have just given that away, but I'm not sure. I might have just given some of that away. But I'm going to cover a specific how to front run that. How can I get into a long before that happens? Because there's resistance right here and right here. So if it's going to go up to 31.4, why am I doing this? Somebody once told me. All right, but if it's going to go up to here, that's not much distance for a long, right? So in the after I stop this free YouTube recording, I'm going to go over how I'm going to front run my idea for being generally long. And then I will go over how do I front run my front run. So if I front run a front run, I'm not entering the position. Rather, I'm planning exactitudes, like very specific stuff. I'm at my computer. I know, okay, this is the exact thing that will happen soon, maybe. And if it happens, I'm here right now to do it. So I don't start longing off of a front run. And then I'm ready. And then I know the front run, not the front run of the front run, but the front run of my signal, it becomes probable when my front run ticks. Does that make sense? So my front run scenario has not happened yet if my front run happens, right? Or my pre-front run happens. But when my pre-front run initiates, my front run, the likelihood of it going to happen will happen. No, it will become probable at that time. I apologize. That's when it becomes probable. So that's why I would be at my computer if my pre-front run stuff gets initiated. Does that make sense? It's almost like in a fight where you anticipate a punch, which is a long. Boom, I'm longing, right? Boom, boom. That's a long. But I don't jab until my opponent gives a signal. He goes like this. It's almost like in Mike Tyson Punch Out. You only hit the character when they do a specific thing. That's actually kind of how it works. So this is my long, but before I do that, right? How can I tell that he dropped his guard or whatever makes me punch? Let's say it's this. My opponent goes like this. But before he goes like this, and before then I punch, before he goes like this, that's my front run, right? Or no, that's my signal to long. Before he drops his guard, which is when I long, the front run of that, how I know he's going to drop his guard, is that he breathes in deeply. And then he drops his guard when he breathes out, only if he takes a deep breath. That's my front run. So when he breathes in, and deeply, I know he's going to drop his guard, but I don't punch right then because his guard has not dropped. I know I'm getting ready to punch. That's my front run signal. But before he breathes deeply, he has the habit of licking his lips every time. He goes, so that's the front run of the front run. So when he licks his lips, that's the pre-front run. Then the breathe, that's the front run. And then I punch and long. So that's what I'm getting ready to do in the private community one. So if you want to check that out, right next to the subscribe button is a join button, and it pops up a little video describing what you get. So we'll see you on the flip side for YouTube.